welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me as always is Trevor Scott.
Hello.
Hello. I don't know if it's coming across in my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather, but we're going to push through because we've got some fun stuff to do and, you know, I didn't want to postpone.
Never want to postpone.
Never.
Because the next time that you're feeling well, we want to try and get out to weapons.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to go see a movie. So, yes,
I've already seen it, and I think it's amazing.
yeah. I'm going to join Trevor, and he has been very good about not giving me any sort of spoilers, going blind, just the way I like it. Speaking of blind, no, not speaking of blind at all, but we're going to do something a little bit different tonight. I've been working on a project where I'm using websockets to do kind of real-time multiplayer sort of shared information kind of gameplay. And we're thinking of participating in the Brackies Jam next week, where we might utilize that sort of thing. So we're going to kind of think about how we might use some real-time multiplayer presence kind of stuff in all of our games tonight. But otherwise, I think we're just going to do some what three words to get some hopefully relatively
normal
usable words.
Yeah. Okay, so What Three Words is a pretty cool system where the team at What Three Words have split the world into 3-meter chunks, including the oceans, and assigned each one of those chunks like 3 different words. So that's the What Three Words. And that can be brought down to a latitude and longitude, or it can be brought out to... So basically, wherever you are standing right now, there is a 3-word...
3-word, yes.
That explains that position.
And we just throw random latitude and longitudes at it to get some words out.
Exactly. So, Ben, what 3 words?
Yeah. Okay. Cuts... Tutoring inspiration.
Cool.
So, Cuts makes me think of like some sort of surgeon game, maybe, or something.
It makes me think of like scrapbooking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, tutoring and inspiration kind of comes into that too. Scrapbooking.
Yeah.
So can we do something with like multiplayer real-time scrapbooking? That's kind of interesting. Everyone cutting out different images and bringing them onto the space. Yeah. That's actually kind of fun, even just as a collaborative scrapbooking. So I wonder then, could we do something around... Oh, it's actually kind of interesting because you and I off mic were talking about, you know, potentially a deduction style thing.
Yeah.
What if you are literally, as a team, working to solve some sort of mystery, but the only way you can communicate is by cutting things out of all of these random images or whatever that we've got.
No words.
And
so you can't be making...
Yeah. Or maybe you can, because that's kind of fun. Like, you're doing it ransom note style.
I'm wondering whether one of the things that you're deducing is you've got a ransom note and you're trying to find... You know,
where they came from or something.
You've got all the magazines in front of you and you're like, okay, this P is from, you know.
Right.
From Penthouse. And this one's...
I guess the main downside of this is how much content you'd have to create. But if you had the artists and such, you know, available for that, I think having, just a bunch of different pages and different things that everyone can cut out. And then you're having to like cut it out manually with your... mouse or whatever, touch screen or something, and then moving it into a shared space, putting it down on a shared space to try to solve that over time. I wonder, would you do it as like some really tricky puzzle, and when you connect, you see everyone's stuff that's been left over the last, you know, however long this game's been live for?
Kind of like a guest book.
A little bit, yeah. But what's interesting is you've got limited space on these pages or whatever it is, however you're presenting this mystery. And so people can put stuff over the top of other people's stuff and like change things, and you never know what you're actually getting at.
It's bringing back that that idea that Peter Molyneux had of the different layers. I've forgotten
your curiosity.
Yeah.
Tapping away at it. Well, no, I think with this one, it's interesting because you just see an amalgam of everybody's work.
Yeah.
Or everybody's contributions. I mean, that could be really interesting, actually, because it might just be, you could solve this puzzle on your own. You can solve it while other people are connected, and you'll see their real-time contributions as they come up. But those contributions stack, essentially. They get saved. And so you might want to you might be able to use those to get hints, or they're giving you red herrings, or they're covering up vital part. Maybe you've got a mechanic where you have to like scratch stuff off, or like to get through to the original. I don't know. Anyway, I think there's actually something there.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That's cool. All right, cool. Yep. Hey Trevor, what 3 words?
Meteorologists, barometric, blowtorch.
Okay.
I'm like, there's 2 weather words in a row. I'm like, is there going to be a third one? No. Blowtorch.
No, not so much.
It almost put a blowtorch to the whole weather related.
I mean, let's just take it as heat.
Yeah.
Some sort of addition of heat.
I was actually
thinking, the WebSocket. Yeah.
You could actually then get some real data.
Weather data
for where they are right now. And include that in the game somehow. Like, that could actually be kind of cool. Like, if it's dark outside, it's dark in the game. If it's, just a little bit of information of what's the current time, what's the current, approximate location, just getting the approximate weather.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And then I wonder if you could do, so for those who don't know about WebSockets and that sort of terminology, essentially it can be used quite easily to have a good number of people real-time connected and sending generally fairly basic data back and forth. You're not often using this for, you're not using it for like a first-person shooter or whatever,
that's
where
too
you
much
have to
time.
do all sorts of client prediction and all different things. It's just the game can send messages, broadcast them to all the other people connected, and can sort of store some data about itself. So something to do with weather and affecting the weather there is interesting, because what I like about these multiplayer ideas is something that if you're playing by yourself you can't do. You need the other people there, and so it's like everyone like blowing a cloud in a particular direction, or like placing clouds down until they form something, or I don't know, where you're working together but without directly speaking to the other people, just by seeing their input into the game.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some cool stuff that you could do with weather. There's definitely, I love the idea of having like a weather control panel, and if multiple people are doing certain things with the controls, like that just adds. Well, the other thing you can do here is you could do some more asymmetrical gameplay potentially. Of you control
maybe
this switch and they control this dial.
Well, no, I was more thinking one person gains control over the weather, and maybe it's almost a bit of a king of the hill sort of thing where everyone else is playing, I don't know, like a simple platformer or something, but whoever has control of the weather can like blast them with lightning or make it rain so the things are slippery, and and maybe they've got limited resources on how to do that, but and then once someone else reaches them they can like kick them out, and now I've got now they've got control. But that's sort of asymmetrical gameplay where you can do that obviously with any multiplayer thing. That's not key to the type of multiplayer we're talking about, but I think those sorts of elements can work pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. That could actually work quite well. I was sort of thinking even with the meteorologists and that sort of stuff. Yeah, controlling the weather would be great. And then you've got like a bunch of people who are running across like in a first person-y sort of way, a la Peak, able to actually run and include a little bit of this a traditional multiplayer at the same time as the WebSocket sort of thing as well. So, the weather is being controlled in multiple games by one person. And
okay. Yeah, that could be interesting. I think as well what's, obviously WebSockets can be pretty powerful, but maybe aren't there for, real-time gameplay like that. But if you weren't relying on interacting with the other people, it'd be very easy to show the ghost of, essentially like the ghost of someone else who's playing, so you can you see where you are compared to everyone else, but it's not these direct interactions where you're affecting them and they're affecting you as such.
Yeah, the idea of a whole heap of ghosts just all running, like you can't actually interact with them, but you're seeing the way that they're going, and it's like, oh, that seems like a pretty good way to go, and they're getting, a good continuous leaping between platforms, and they're not falling down. So I'm going to go that way instead of this way.
It reminds me of those. Have you ever seen when they'll capture the path of Mario in a Mario level and then play them all back simultaneously, like from the start? I'm kind of picturing that, where everyone's playing a little platformer, but it literally is just everyone simultaneously. But yeah, you're watching a ton of people fall down there. You're like, okay, well, now that I've seen that that's going to happen, maybe one of these rage platformers where holes appear that you could never expect, or spikes or whatever. Have you that could be really funny to see then. Oh, okay, we've got 100 people in here playing. Who's going to go first and sort of be the sacrificial lamb to show where, there's a spike here. Okay, now everyone starts jumping over that spot.
Oh yeah,
that could be really
kind of like a Squid Games. The panels of glass, and one person at a time is going to go because no one wants to be the first one out there.
Is there a benefit for sacrificing, or is it just that you might get lucky? Yeah, having that play off against each other of, oh no, I want to run ahead because I want to get there faster, but the people who run ahead are the ones kind of showing the way.
But it could also
for
be
everyone else.
You go across and you're going to get, X number of points, and it's at the end of 5 rounds, it's the most number of points that you get. And if you get across the first time, you get the most amount of points. But if you die, obviously you don't get any of the points. So it's that risk.
Well, maybe you just do a penalty, instead of obviously just having them out of the game for the rest of that round or whatever. They respawn, they take a penalty. Now they know how to get further, but
the points that they're going to get are greatly diminished if they...
Yeah, or at least somewhat diminished. And they might still get more, a good amount of points if they're still the first one to get to the end.
Yeah.
It's just because they took that risk, they do lose some points or something. Yeah, I don't know.
So I like the idea, but you can actually... one person gets a blowtorch, and it turns out the blowtorches can hurt ghosts. So
right,
you just light a
limited
fire
use, but
stay away from
only
one person.
And only one person gets. So all these people playing, thinking no one can affect them because it's just everyone's ghosts. It's just to show where everyone else is, and then someone turns up and who's able to kill people.
And
That's
kick
really
him out of
funny.
the game permanently.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, Ben, what 3 words?
Yeah. Stray, tempers, frostbitten.
Ooh, okay.
Tempers while frostbitten. Definitely feel like you're on the side of
this is definitely a rage game again.
Oh yeah. The tempers.
Yeah.
Yeah, how can we make... Okay, what's a game that's got some simultaneous multiplayer stuff where we can make people really angry at anonymous people on the internet by their own behaviours?
I mean, I do like the idea of a now I'm thinking about, a multiplayer game where everyone is in, but at any time you can, hit a button like push a button down there and that's going to, drop the drawbridge or something like that. And
Yeah. Okay. Here's sort of what I'm thinking, and it could incorporate that. You've got 100 people playing, whatever it is, but it's like a platformer sort of thing. You can't affect each other, like you can't push each other, you can't jump on each other's heads and stuff, because I want to avoid again the real time actually affecting each other. But you track enough to know who's on each platform, and each platform can only hold a certain amount of people at once. And you have an indicator of how many people are on there, or how close you are, maybe how close you are. So I don't know. You'd play with it to know whether it's better to have an exact. If you know exactly 13 people can be on that, and there are 13 people on it, and then you choose to jump on it, to really, make everyone fall down. Yeah, like that sort of thing. Like you're making choices that you could screw over a bunch of people that will benefit you in the short term, but people will be
drops them but keeps you.
Yeah, or something like that. Or you can. Yeah, or maybe it's something like you get a higher bounce off of platforms that have more people on them or something.
Yeah. But you got to be the last one.
I guess you'd have to decide. Yeah, I guess you'd have
you
to.
can't be the one to jump. So other people have to jump.
Something like it's almost a prisoner's dilemma situation sort of thing, right? It's like, okay, what are the other people going to do? I could screw them over for short-term gain. We're all going to do best out of this if we cooperate, or at least we're going to get something out of it if we cooperate. But if any of us fuck someone over, then we're all going to get nothing. But yeah, something like that.
There is something cool about having like even 12 people to a room that you're playing at a time, and one person is assigned as a mole. And their whole thing is the more people who don't finish within the time limit, the more points they get.
Right. How would you probably need some sort of voting mechanic then or something then, because I feel like there always needs to be a downside to being caught as the mole, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, are you making it that they have to... Basically, you need to make it that everyone else thinks they're legitimately trying to get to the end, but they...
Yep. So,
do you do a spoilers for Dropout Game Changer Season 7? Do you do a everyone's sober sort of thing, like where everyone thinks they're the mole, and they're all trying to convince everyone else they're not the mole, and then because everyone thinks there's only one mole, no one can figure out what the fuck's going on.
But it only works the first time. That's the problem.
Yeah, that is true. But it's a game. Like, if we're doing it for a game jam, that almost doesn't matter.
I almost like it that there is a random chance that there is not going to be any moles, and a random chance that there's going to be all moles. Like, so you normally have your two moles, because I think two moles are better. They don't know who the other person is. Kind of like an Among Us sort of thing. You've got rooms of 12 or whatever. And they're playing through. You can play like a local session and that sort of stuff. And
I definitely like this idea.
Kind of like a hosted, like you can start a room and you can share to your friends what room you're in.
Yeah. That's fine. You can do that for sure.
I like the Among Us and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like it as a social experiment sort of thing, though, for a game jam where they finish the round.
Oops,
and you go,
moles.
Yeah, everyone's a mole. Please don't tell anyone. Like, don't post that. Don't spoil it in the comments. Just tell people to play the game. Like, if you have a good reveal like that, especially if you do it in a funny way, like you've got everyone there on podiums or whatever with based on who won or different things, and then like you highlight one of the moles, and then you highlight the second mole, and then third, fourth, fifth, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, especially if it's just a simple platform or a racer or like whatever it is.
Yeah,
where you can really fuck people over. But maybe you're just incompetent.
Having it as a single screen sort of thing could be kind of cool too.
Yeah. Like 4x4 pixel coloured little squares or something that everyone is. and then just bouncing up.
Yeah.
The only way to identify someone is by their colour.
Yeah, definitely something there. Definitely something there.
That's fun. All right, let's see what else we got here tonight.
Undernourished, rating, girded. Yeah.
Well, rating from a multiplayer WebSockets thing definitely gives me some sort of Jackboxy vibes or whatever, where it's like, okay, everyone votes on something.
Yeah.
Undernourished. Oh, God. Are you voting who gets food?
No. No, I'm thinking this is a plant.
Okay.
A plant growing sort of game.
Oh,
and the plant is undernourished, and then it's you're working together to sort of, prune it back and remove some of the leaves and that sort of stuff. I think this could actually work quite well. That you're trying to make it look better.
Do you give people skills on cooldown where they can do particular things to the plant? They can water it. Yeah, they can like prune one branch. They can sing to it. I don't know, different things.
They can sit under it and read a book, and that makes the tree feel better.
Right.
It makes the tree feel appreciated. Because that's what it's all about.
Where you have different things, once it gets to certain heights, you can do different things. Yeah. But obviously you can also treat that, like if you overwater or you cut, you could cut off every branch. And this is why I say you do it on cooldown. You only let them, certain skills every so often. But there's going to be there's going to be benefits to pruning as well, right? Yep. Like having it grow in a particular way or different things.
And then the rating that you get is actually from the tree to the people.
Right. Is there an optimum strategy?
Yeah. You water them too much. You ripped all the branches off. Fuck you.
Yeah. F for fuck you. The Lorax is going to hear about this.
You got S plus for shitty. That's right. S is not. Yeah,
S is shitty, and this is not good in this one.
Like you think that you've done really
F
well
for fantastic. Yes, we used F twice for good and bad. Fuck you again.
The rating is...
I love the idea of the sassy. The tree is just super fucking sassy.
Yeah.
But you don't know until the end.
Yeah. The rating system from lowest to highest is S plus, S, F,
D, G, F
B,
again.
A, F. F is the top. Far out. Or
far out. Or like, yeah. No.
G for get fucked. B for just bad. I was going to say
G for green thumb.
B for bad. A for all right. The best grading system. Shitty plus. Yep. Shitty. Fuck you.
Like that. Yeah, S plus is worse than S, of course. That makes sense because you're more shitty. I do like that idea though of a collaborative growing game of some sort, like a caring for one thing. And a plant makes sense here.
Just the first time you play it, and like everyone starts at S plus, and as they go through, and so if they're doing certain things, they're like, oh, if I keep on doing this, I stay at S plus, and like they're thinking,
I see. Well. That literally, the game is figuring out what
your current rating
system is without any scale, just the letter.
and you're thinking, oh, when I do this, my S is going. I went down to S, so. Obviously I want to try and keep it S plus. So you're working out what you did to keep it S plus.
Yeah. But I think it's everyone's rating. I think it's everyone in there. They're all getting, like, it's what the plant is rating their carers. But yes, it's not until you either kill the plant or grow it to 100% that you reveal what the ratings mean, and you give a breakdown of like how long you spent at each one. That's really stupid, but really funny.
Again, it works well the first time because, like, the first time you do it, and you're thinking,
but I kind of love that.
S plus.
I kind of love that for a jam game. Which is essentially what we're sort of discussing here.
You know, I mean, it seems like I'm doing bad things to the plant, but it's keeping me at S+. Like, and that's where I want to be, you know? And,
Yeah.
Like, I love the idea of, you know, it dips up into S and then comes back down to S+. Like, you can, you're trying to keep
and then
it there.
then they, once they finally sort of figured it out and they go through F to G to D and then get F again. But I thought I was doing better and now I'm back at F. What's going on? It's like you use a different font.
What I really love.
It's F in this font means fuck off and F in this slightly different font means fantastic.
What I love is if you just leave it the fuck alone, your rating just goes up.
Oh, yeah.
It's the fact that you're doing things.
Well, that's not a bad idea when you're talking about a multiplayer thing. Everybody has to leave it alone. Yep. Or at least just do one particular or something like. So, I guess the problem is how long does it take to grow this thing and is the progress visible enough? I don't think you don't want immediate feedback on how much the tree is growing. Maybe it's like a cycle. It's like, okay, you've got 30 seconds. Everyone's doing stuff to the tree. They've got their skills on cooldown. They're doing different things. And then after that, it's like the tree grows by a certain amount based on how well that was done.
Yeah.
And you see what your current rating is. And like you can grow the tree to 100% and stay at S+. It's still going to grow a little bit. It's just going to take a fucking long time and the tree's going to be like green and covered in bugs or something. But
there's just something about like if you leave it the fuck alone, you're like reading poetry under it, you're like, you know, doing whatever other little things that don't actually affect the tree in any way, and you're just admiring it, your rating's going up. And if you're, you know, overwatering or anything like that, it's like, it's going down.
Or trimming the branches, or
because it's like it's autumn. Of course, my branches look empty.
That's pretty fun.
There is something about that. I really like it. I don't know. Is it like you come in and it's like, okay, this is your minute to tend to the tree, whatever it is, and it's like, you know, what your ranking is for this, or however many minutes you allow.
I mean, I think,
or you just allow them to come in.
Bunch of people in there at once. Well, I guess it depends how long are you, like, even at S+, how long does it take for this tree to grow? Like, half an hour, and then you reset it, right? Like, you do it.
You have multiple rooms, just in case you've got 100 people going on. You're never going to have that from a jam game. But
I mean, you might on a big jam, but probably not, unless you go viral with it. Yeah, I don't know. There are definitely ways to do it. I do think I like the chaos of everyone working at once for that, even 10 seconds or whatever it is per day, in-game day, and then getting the feedback from that. And it's like, you have to be paying attention enough to what everyone else is doing to know, why did it only grow that much that day? Like, it's not one person's input, it's the collective. And how you represent that, I don't know. Maybe it's just like you see the icons coming up as based on the task people are doing or something like that. But
I just love the idea of you flip the whole thing on its head, and you know, S+ is obviously at the top and F is right down the bottom. Right. But it's like, oh, look at how those guys went in the last. You know, the last 10 minutes, it was F all the way. We've got to keep this as an S+, and you know they're doing all the things.
Maybe I don't know. I do like the idea of they just see the letter, and I mean, I guess you could potentially ruin it for yourself if you come into a room and they're at 99% of the way through the tree, and then you just catch the end. You'd maybe have to, I don't know. Maybe you don't let people join after 80%, and then if you start a new room or whatever. But
certainly ways around it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's fun.
It was.
Should we do one more?
Yeah, let's go one more quick one.
All right. Tastings, sneaking, mocked.
Okay. How do you mock a tasting?
Well, yeah, I don't know about tastings, but sneaking and mocked. Oh, or is this some sort of, the trope of stealing the pie off the windowsill?
Mm.
Is this some sort of stealth thing? And mocked is coming from like decoys or, you're using something fake.
You put a fake pie up there as a rubber pie. With a little bit of perfume, the blueberry perfume. And it's like,
But I mean, having again, on the multiplayer thing, having one person trying to notice a bunch of other people who are all trying to sneak up, maybe you do something like a bit of a red light, green light, not like the real one, not the Squid Game death one.
Yeah.
Where, one person can choose when to turn around and they need to identify where people are that are coming to try to get the pie.
But you can only see them on your screen
when they're moving or something.
When they've actually just moved. Like, so if they've stopped.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's some sort of, as long as they stay stopped. But maybe they have a mechanic on their end where they have to actively, like almost maybe a bit of a Tony Hawk manual mechanic, like a balance thing, or a, keep that sort of thing. Keep the icon in a certain space.
And otherwise, they're just going to turn away. And then it's like, okay, so now I've got to, gradually get this over into the space, and like I'm keeping this into the space. And
Yeah, maybe it's kind of if you keep the tapping going, if you're tapping faster, you'll move. If you're tapping too slow, you'll like fall over or something. But if you keep it in the zone, you're completely still. So it's sort of like, okay, they've turned around, tap, 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 tap. Okay, slow it to get that meter down. Okay, now I'm in the spot. All right, tap at the right rhythm. Okay, they're turning around. Tap, 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 tap.
I love the idea of it's tied to your heartbeat.
Oh, okay. Oh, like just visually, like that's sort of what you're...
Not your actual heartbeat, but your character's heartbeat. So as you're getting closer, like the tapping actually becomes faster, that you got to keep up the rhythm.
Right, yes, it changes, the target changes for sure. Yeah. That's kind of cool. It's tricky that... I don't know how the latency sort of stuff would work. You could obviously just measure it on the client end and send to the back end whether it's successful or not. That'd be very easy to spoof. But maybe you don't care about that for this sort of game. Maybe you just assume people are going to play it the way you want them to play it.
For a jam game, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I like that.
That's
pretty
cool.
We came up with some fun stuff some of which is actually doable in a jam. So we will find out the theme on Sunday or Monday or whatever the time here is, I believe. And, we'll maybe put something together in that week.
Who knows?
Cool. All right, well, thank you for joining us this week on Bitstorm. If you want to find all of our previous episodes, go to podchester.com/bitstorm or bitstormcast.com or any of your podcast outlets.
Yeah. If you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, that song is called Mount Defiance, and it could be found on the album Containment Failure by the band Kuradust. It was never put onto Spotify, so you're going to have to actually go to kuradust.bandcamp.com and find it there, because it's the only place that it really exists, or some random torrent on Pirate Bay, as we found out at one stage. And I was like, this is a weird place.
I think we put it up there. I think we put one up there.
Did we?
To try to spread it around, because we didn't care if people pirated it, or like it's free anyway. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was either that or it was something else that we saw. It was like, why is this pirated? Like, it's free anyway. Like, it's available here. It was funny. I remember laughing uproariously at it.
We made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's right. Thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
And I'm not really here in real time.